What's up, guys? Jeremy Conn here. It is the Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pick Dawgz. Please check out pickdawgz.com. All the things going on over there, different premium picks. You can see who's hot, who's not. Figure out which direction you want to go in. As I've talked about my concrete inner circle. If you check that out, you can text inner circle to the number that you see there. Went 5-2 last night, plus like 13, I think right around 13 units. So nice night last night or yesterday and looking at it and want to carry that over into Saturday. I'll talk about the plays that I had for Saturday and then kind of give you, as I said, I'll throw in an extra NFL play. I actually have 5 plays, and one of which is going to be a prop play that I really, really like. But we'll get into all that. I want to tell you, click that like and subscribe button. That helps us out. The notification button will let you know every time one of these gets posted. If you got questions or anything, you can always shoot those in the comments. I try to come back and answer. And if you don't see me answering, keep posting. At some point, I'll catch it. Where else? I wanted to bring up, too, with some of the things that were going on site-wise and looking at the picks that are out there. As I've said before, I put out my football picks. Usually, I don't want to sit here and tell you they're going to be out every Tuesday, Wednesday. It all kind of depends on the schedule, but I get them out a few days early. So the only reason I bring that up is if you're shopping early, I also try to get the best lines early, so I don't want somebody buying my pick and going, wait a minute, the line's here, when I try to attack it at another number. So I do try to get out there early, and as we talked about week 1, I had the Ravens plus 1.5, and I'm assuming people bought the pick. So many people bought it, and it finished at 1. So I know a lot of people go, well, I'll just bet it on the money line, or if I bet the Ravens -1, what's the chance that this happens? And, of course, it's not a great chance, but the percentages are low, but it did happen. So as Buffalo won by 1. Now, as far as Saturday went, or if you want me to talk like Friday, I hit pretty much everything. The only thing I missed was Arizona. Had the Rockies over, had the Mets over. What else did we have? Oh, the over in the Iowa game. As I said, that's kind of a vomit play, and then they returned the opening kickoff for one of the easiest-looking kickoff return touchdowns that you'd ever see. I threw up a WNBA total. I had it as a total of the month. Nobody bought it, but that's okay. It's I kind of got it up a little later than I wanted, but it hit. And yeah, man, I was 4-0 on the site yesterday on premium plays, so a plus 400 night. Nice little night there. Nice night with the inner circle as well. So yeah, plays were good. Let's get to what we're looking at for Saturday. I know this is I like to tell you the plays I had on Saturday so you guys can see how they play out. Once you're watching this, you can go back and look and go, oh, he was dead wrong on that, or he was right on this, whatever. But I did, and here's what I liked. I liked Wisconsin. I liked Indiana. I loved Nebraska, loved Utah. I even loved Clemson. I think it's just the perfect spot for them to kind of bounce back. And I'm hoping they don't look like Florida State's team last year where it's like, yeah, this is the week. This is the week. And then it's like, oh, they're just not good. So we shall see. I think Klubnik is a little bit better than that, and we'll be able to get this offense going with Wesco Jr. and the rest of the cats. So I did like Clemson a lot. I thought Arizona State was a live dog on the road. The Duke over was interesting to me. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Baseball, I love the Braves over, and I had a couple of prop plays, which I threw out. One of my plays, the weather play, the only baseball play I put out on Saturday was the Braves over at 1 o'clock, and I threw in the Ronald Acuna Jr. prop over 1.5. He was only minus 125, but my algorithm loved him. And I had one of those nights, too, that you'd like to forget prop play-wise. I went 2-2 on my baseball props, and back-to-back nights watching my guys get walked and intentionally walked. Judge 3 times the night before. Last night it was Corbin Carroll a couple of times. Seiya Suzuki, like just sitting there going, come on, stop walking these guys. I think it's stupid that a walk doesn't count as a total base, but because you're getting a base, but that's how it does. That's how it goes in gambling. So let me get to the games. We'll just dive right into it, and I'll try to talk as in depth as I can. Hopefully I won't have to toggle too much with the glasses because I didn't do a lot of writing because it's the NFL. We start off with Cincinnati at Minnesota. Minnesota's a 3-point favorite. The total, as soon as I say that, 42.5. Yeah, I mean, look, this is the battle of the backups, as people are going to call it. But I like to call it the battle of the 2 best wide receivers in football. And then there's a large drop-off to number 3 because Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, they're it. And if you ask me which one I'd take, I'd say yes. I think Justin Jefferson, to me, is just a premier receiver, just the guy that you would want to have that can run so many different routes. Jamar Chase is just a manimal, man. That guy, it's so impressive watching him play. And I love the people screaming, oh, you should have drafted Penny Sewell. I can't believe, here's Joe Burrow out again because you can't protect him. No, you shouldn't have paid T. Higgins, and you should have gotten an offensive line. You keep your number one guy. You keep Jamar Chase the difference maker. Because I got news for you. If you put Joe Blow next to him, they're still going to get targets because he gets so much attention. So, yeah, I mean, look, Jamar Chase is an absolute animal, and I love watching him play. But we have Carson Wentz and Browning going in this game, and it's like, what are we going to see? I mean, Browning at times surprises. He does turn the ball over quite a bit. I would lean Cincinnati in this game, but what I'm going to do is give you a prop play of something that I definitely think happens. I mean, Cincinnati's defense is horrendous, but I do think they're good enough to stay in this game with Minnesota. That's why I would take them plus the 3 if you force me. That's not my play. My play is going to be Carson Wentz over 29.5 pass attempts, and I know that's kind of a boring prop play to bet, but I don't care. Cash is cash, and I think Carson Wentz is going to be throwing the ball quite a bit here. They're going to have some opportunities with the running game. And if the game's close, I definitely think he throws it at least 30 times. And this is a guy look, we can sit here and talk about Carson Wentz not being good anymore. He should have won an MVP one year before he blew out his knee diving into the end zone on a touchdown. By the way, that game pissed me off too because I was in the top 20 for FanDuel in a big-ass tournament. And again, top 20 pays out okay. You want to get into that top 10, top 5, depending on the size of the tournament. And Carson Wentz had a monster game against the Rams. I'll never forget it. He dives in the end zone, and we still have the whole fourth quarter, and not a lot of guys had players left that were up at the top. And sure enough, he gets hurt. I mean, I ended up cashing and winning a little bit. I think it ended up being like $1,500, but, $100K would have looked a lot better had he not got hurt. And then he's just never been the same since then. So I do like his pass attempts to go over the total. All right, let me dive into the next game. Packers at the Browns. Here we are as the Packers are 7.5 point favorites on the road. 41.5 is the total. I'll say this much. I did like Tucker Kraft to go under his receptions in this game. It was juiced up a little bit at like 4.5. You could play his under yardage as well, as I think that's another good spot. The Browns have a great defense. It's really, really good. The problem is their offense sucks so bad that they're making these guys play way too many plays per game. If you watch the Ravens game from last week, Ravens were scuffling in the first half. And then in the second half, time of possession and everything else kind of ate them up. Turnovers on offense, put them behind the 8 ball, short fields, and then obviously you see the implosion that happens in the second half. That Browns defense is legit. So I think coming into this game, I'm definitely taking the points here with the Browns plus 7.5. I know it kind of sucks to do that, to click on a team that you know is bad and how good the Packers have looked. They've had 10 days to get ready for this game, all those things that follow suit. But it's a tough place to play, and I think the Cleveland fans, they get after it, and I believe Flacco's good enough to keep them in the game, and that defense is as well. Not telling you they win. I still think the Packers win this game, but I think this is another one of those, 20-17 games, 20-13 games. I think it's lower scoring, so the under would look good to me, but I'm definitely taking the Browns as my lean plus 7.5. Now, Colts at Texans. I made a mistake this week because I thought the Colts were going to the Rams and the Rams were favored by 7. That's not incorrect because that's what's going to happen next week. We'll see if that line changes. But I had a look-ahead line, and when I was scrolling through it, that's the Colts line I saw. I was like, oh, my God, they're going to play the Rams, and they're getting 7, which I would have bet against them, just like I'm going to bet against them here as they're favored by 4.5. 43.5 is the total in the game as the Colts head to the Titans. And I'm going to take the Titans here. This is as good as Daniel Jones has looked in a Colts uniform and as good as the Colts have looked. Miami's not good. We know that now. Denver, the jury's still out. I will say this. I didn't put the Denver game down, but I'm all over Denver. You could take that as a free play. It's one of my premium plays too. I couldn't get away from the line movement in that game, and I just couldn't. I'm looking at it and going, man, it's staying right there, and there's every reason to take the Chargers, and the public's all over it, that I just think the Broncos are the right spot. I think J.K. Dobbins over rush attempts, over rush yards looks really good. I don't know why I'm throwing this out for free, but here we go. It's what I do sometimes is I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm talking about this game. Why don't I give out one of my premium games for free? But, yeah, I am on the Broncos. But going back to this, the Colts at the Titans, this is Daniel Jones' first road game with the Indianapolis Colts. Any way we slice it, we've seen Daniel Jones when things go awry, and I think things could happen that way in a divisional game on the road. So we'll see how this looks, but I'll gladly grab the Titans plus 4.5 points. And I know they got to figure out a way to protect Cam Ward because he's been sacked more times through 2 games than anybody in NFL history. And poor David Carr got shell-shocked with the Texans, as I think he got sacked like 70 times in a season, or 67, just ridiculous numbers. You don't want to ruin a quarterback that's actually looked halfway decent so far. Actually, I think Cam Ward's looked better than that, but protect him. Learn from the Joe Burrow stuff. Learn from some of the other things we've seen in NFL history, but protect that guy. But yeah, I'm going to take the Titans plus the points at home here. I think this is more like a field goal game, so I'll gladly grab the 4.5. And by the way, I'm not telling you the Titans knocked them off. I say this all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. But I think this is one of those interesting weeks where people, they're going to flock to maybe some of the bigger numbers. Maybe some people took the Bills on Thursday night in their survivor pools. As I said last week, the Ravens was the free square. I would just take it instead of messing with the other stuff. There's some interesting spots this week. Maybe you take Tampa Bay against the Jets. Maybe you take Seattle against the Saints. Those are the spots people are looking at, and we'll get to one of those games here in just a second. Or no, I didn't do that game. We'll get to another game. But yeah, let's move on to game 4. That's the Cardinals at the Niners. Niners favored by 2.5. 44.5 is the total. And again, this is another game where who are the Arizona Cardinals? Went to New Orleans. Don't think they're good at all. Might be the worst team in football. Won. Went home. Were beating the Panthers handily and then took their foot off the gas. And then the Panthers actually had the ball with a chance to take the lead after being down, 21 points? So now they go on the road. 49ers defense is solid. You still have Christian McCaffrey in there. I don't think Mac Jones is devoid of talent. He'll run a little bit too. I picked Arizona to win this division at the beginning of the year, but I still think this is the same old Arizona team that every year you're like, yeah, Kyler Murray's going to take a huge step forward, and we just don't see it. I'm going to take San Francisco here. You give me the Niners as a home favorite and it's under a field goal, I'm going to grab it. I think they win by at least 3. Give me San Francisco here in this spot. All right, last game we're going to talk about is Pittsburgh at New England. Pitt is favored by 1.5. The total, 44.5. Now, in looking at this game, you got to ask yourself, so this is what I mean when people kind of look at games and then overreact to what just happened. We had the Steelers play the Jets. The Steelers played like absolute trash. They were fortunate the way that things went late. Aaron Rodgers looked okay. Everybody's going to point at the touchdown passes. Yardage was down. There were some instances where I looked at him going, yeah, I think he looks better than he did with the Jets. I still don't think that you're getting anywhere near what he looked like with the Packers, even at the end of his career. And sorry, I keep touching my damn nose. I got a mustache hair that's just pointing up my nose, and you're going to think I have a coke habit here in a second. No, but getting back to Aaron Rodgers, it's just amazing what the W does for you. You win the game, and then all of a sudden, all the warts, all the things that went wrong in the game, it's all forgotten. And I can't do that when I watch games because I'll look at it if I see a game where, the perfect example might be the Ravens and the Bills week 1. Everybody was down on the Ravens because they gave up 41 points and blew a double-digit lead, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens ran the table. I wouldn't be if the Ravens went 1-3 and they lose to the Lions this week, which I don't think happens. And then they lose to the Chiefs next week, which I don't think happens. And they start off 1-3. If you look at their schedule, they're still capable of going 14-3. They play the worst teams this year, man. And even now with their division, Cincinnati with Browning, I don't think the Steelers defense is good. Can't figure out what's happening. I think what they say, TJ Watt hasn't had a sack in how many games? So I think this might be who they are. And again, it's only 2 games. Now they're going up to face New England, who I don't know what you feel about them. In week 1, lose to the Raiders, come back in week 2, a kickoff return helped them beat the Dolphins. Maybe the Patriots aren't that good, but at home, getting the Steelers out there, I think this defense can get after Aaron Rodgers and cause some fits. Give me the Pats plus the points at home. I'm not a big believer in this Steelers team, and maybe this is things keep going awry with that defense, because I don't think you can rely on Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball 40 times a game to win. So if your defense can't stop a nosebleed, I think you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And we'll find out. Maybe they tweak some things, figure something out along the way. Maybe somebody's plane that's dinged up and we don't know about it. But, man, it does not look good. And you're thinking about it. Week 1, Jalen Ramsey with that huge hit to save the game. You had the kickoff that was fumbled, that gave the Steelers the ball back. You had week 2, like I kept telling everybody, it was like, the Steelers, it seems like a free square. The Steelers this, the Steelers that. And I'm going, you're talking about how great the Steelers offense looked and they had a comeback win when their defense looked like trash. And then you look at Seattle and go, oh my God, their offense sucks. And you don't tip their cap. You don't tip your cap to how good the defense looked. And what they do, they came in and handled business. And I thought one of the easiest bets last week, I don't know if we talked about this game enough, was DK Metcalf getting a touchdown. Because Aaron Rodgers, that's King Petty right there. So if DK Metcalf's like, I want to get a TD against my former team, you know they were going to get him one. And I think it was the first one. So they got it out of the way early. But no, I do think New England wins this game and covers that spread. I mean, it's 1.5. I'll gladly take the points, but give me the Pats. That's where I'm going to be. I hope you guys win some cash today. A couple other things to tell you about. If you're looking at the premium plays, I've been killing it in the NFL. I hate saying killing it. I got a nice winning percentage. I think right now I'm number 2 on the board. I'm coming off a huge day on Friday. I expect Saturday to be a good day as well. Feeling good about the way that things are moving. Football's been kind to me. So if you guys want to check out the premium plays, definitely go over there. As I always tell people, if you're going to buy plays, your best bet, especially during football season, and this is with any capper, doesn't have to be me. It could be whoever. You can also pair guys up, which is kind of a cool thing, and experience different picks from, whoever you want to try out. I know I got paired up with 2 guys I haven't even met yet. So I think on Friday. But with the 3-day pass, that means you get all the picks. So you don't, like, for example, if I'm selling a 3-day pass for $79.99 and then I set up my 5 plays, I always do a top 5 on Saturday and a top 5 on Sunday. I won't force it if I don't see 5 games, but I got to be honest, it's never happened where I haven't seen 5 games I liked on a college football slate or an NFL slate. With that being said, you buy the 3-day pass at $79.99. My top 5 on Saturday is $99.99. My top 5 on Sunday is $99.99. So you think about the savings you're getting if you are going to purchase picks. I know some people come around you love watching the videos and looking for tips, maybe some free plays, and I try to give out as much as I can. But there are some really, 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 really good handicappers over at pickdawgz.com. But yeah, if you guys want to go over there, you can definitely check out the leaderboard and see who's doing what for each particular sport. And right on the front page of pickdawgz.com, they have who's hot, and you can check that out as well. So appreciate you guys for watching this. I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, even though it's a football Sunday, in the morning I come back and I post the weather results for my weather algorithm for baseball. I do that no matter if we're talking football or baseball all the way to the end of the baseball season. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope you win some cash. I'll see you tomorrow.